We're going to Canberra now, where the Greens Senator Rachel Siewert is speaking about Western Australia's controversial shark drumline program.
The WA Premier has abandoned a push to gain federal approval for his divisive catch and kill shark policy. He has brokered a deal, though, which will allow the state to immediately respond to any shark which is an imminent threat. He can do that without getting any federal approval. Let's hear from the Greens Senator.
It's obviously good news that Premier Barnett has withdrawn at 1 minute to midnight his application to get the WA cull, shark cull assessed. However, I am concerned with this so-called agreement between the federal government and the state government on how they're going to handle imminent threat. As yet, we haven't seen the protocol that is supposed to be being developed, and Premier Barnett can't tell us what the definition of imminent threat will be. I am concerned that until detail is made public, that there is still the issue of the Premier using the imminent threat concept to get around the concept of the cull and to in fact be able to set drumlines in Western Australia in a under what could be a fairly loose definition of imminent threat. West Australians do not support this shark cull. They will not support it in any other guise, and we need to know now what definition they are using. We do not think it's appropriate that the federal government hands over decision-making on imminent threat to the state government, because that would be abrogating their responsibility to protect the vulnerable species, which is the great white shark. We will continue to pursue this until the Premier of Western Australia comes up with a policy that protects our marine environment, ensures it does address the issues of safety, but ensures the Western Australian community that they will not use any other guise to set drumlines off the West Australian coastline.
Would you be comfortable advocating no action on imminent threat the day after a fatal attack, for instance?
In Western Australia, there was an attack, as you know, off the coast of Western Australia, where the government, off the coast of Esperance, where the government used the imminent threat approach to take two great white sharks when the person involved didn't identify great white sharks, when the Premier didn't know if those two sharks were in fact the sharks involved in the attack, and it seemed more a vindictive approach than actually dealing with the issues of imminent threat. We know that the cull program doesn't work, that it is disingenuous to say that setting drumlines helps people's safety when it can in fact do the opposite. We know there's no such thing as a rogue shark. In fact, our Department of Fisheries says that on their website. They also say that drumlines can actually have the reverse effect of improving safety. And so it always was a flawed approach. The state government jumped at the opportunity to sensationalise this issue and off the backs of very terrible tragedies, and they are tragedies, but we need to make sure that we have sensible policies in place, and sensible policies that deal with the issues of safety, that don't give false expectations to communities that this approach will work, that look at how we can provide areas where people that are a little bit worried can swim with a sense of security, and that's what the eco barrier did in Western Australia. That was trialled successfully last year at Coogee Beach. Those are the sorts of things that we need to be looking at.